That's awesome. Let's go for it. Not that hot. It's a little bit better than it. Tuck my shirt in, look presentable. Here on the field, but there's so many similarities between football and farming, with the respects that we're out here in the elements. You're at the mercy of the weather, and and a day like this, even though it's a little muggy, but hey, it's overcast. It's cloudy. And it feels pretty good.
Better than
Yes.
pounding sun and 98 degrees.
Are those little frogs?
They're good for me. I love it.
Okay, you love it. I mean, hey, that's great. That's great background noise. I mean, I know sometimes you're like, man, we need it, perfectly, quiet. But yeah, this is nature sounds.
That's nature sounds. Exactly.
Yeah, you might even get a rooster, crowing.
Can't fight it. That's fine. That's fine. Part of the environment. No problem.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your history. You were a North Carolina native.
Yes, born and raised in Henderson, North Carolina, right up the road, about 30 minutes from where we are right now in Louisburg.
And you played football at Carolina?
Yes, so I moved on from my high school, Northern Vance High School, and right down the road to UNC Chapel Hill. I was very excited to be able to go there.
And how did your entrance into the NFL, how did that come about?
Now, to tell you the truth, it was never my dream to be a professional athlete, to play in the NFL. I always wanted to take over the family business, which was landscaping. But when the opportunity arose, everyone told me, hey, you have to take advantage of this opportunity because, something like this is rare, is unique, and it only comes once.
So it's an interest. Your story is very interesting in that you were in the NFL. How many years?
I played 7 years professionally in NFL.
And you played for Baltimore?
Yes, I played for the Baltimore Ravens and the St. Louis Rams. And I was drafted by the Baltimore Ravens, the fourth round in 2005. Served there, faithfully 4 years, and then I became a free agent in 2009, and moved on.
So there came a point in time, I think it was 2012,
Yes,
when you made a decision.
yes. Now,
And I mean, you had a lot of money at stake. Am I right?
correct. 2012, there was a new coach in town for the St. Louis Rams, and he completely cleaned house of all of the veterans. And instead of looking at that as a setback, I started to look at that as an opportunity, and really started to focus on what God wanted for me and my family and our life at that time. And although there were several other lucrative offers on the table, and to tell you the truth, there were teams that I would have wanted to have played for more so than anything if it were, a couple of years prior. There was the Carolina Panthers. I could have came back home and been a Carolina boy again and finished my career in Carolina. But yet, my heart was being led more towards service, more towards giving back to the community. And little did I know it would take place right here on the farm.
Now, when you walked away from those opportunities, how much money were you walking away from?
I potentially walked away from another long-term deal. It could have been somewhere in between the 15 to 20 million dollar range, and that was tough. Don't get me wrong. It's that is tough. A lot of people say that you're crazy, for doing that and walking away from that type of money. But yet, when you put things in perspective, and I really start to look at my value system and what's important to me, and that's faith and family first. And my wife and I, we share with one another that we were never going to make decisions for our family based on money ever again. And now I know that's completely backwards, compared to the American norm, because usually the American dream consists of, lots of money. It consists of, being rich and wealthy. But right now, we've redefined that definition of what the American dream really looks like. And really, what it really looks like is, being healthy and happy and content, with who you are and where you are at that point in time. Having a loving family, being able to, to give back, and um, and I'm just so thankful that I'm able to do that right here on a farm.
What was the reaction from people when they heard about what you were going to do?
Huh. Well, it there was even more so of a reaction from me because I have very little farming experience or farming background. I've done a little bit of gardening, here and there, but gardening and farming are totally different. It's you're taking it to a totally new level. But when I shared with several of my family and friends exactly what God was placing on our hearts and what we're going to be doing here, it's a lot. It's hard for some people to believe, and they actually have to see it in order, to believe it. Um, when you actually get out here to the farm and you're able to see the rolling hills, you're able to see the crops, the fruits, they're just popping up out of the ground. It's That's what makes it a real experience. Um, you can talk about food, but yet, when you actually grow the food, when you actually harvest the food and then prepare it and cook it and eat it for yourself, um, it it brings about an intimacy that there never was there before.
Now, last year was your first harvest, is that correct?
Yes.
What was that experience like?
So in 2014, we decided to plant 5 acres of sweet potatoes, and we started small because our experience level was still small, but yet we had no idea that it was going to yield more than 100,000 pounds of sweet potatoes, and it's still just myself and our small family, and we didn't know exactly how we were going to receive help as far as harvesting all of those potatoes and donating the crop and getting them to the people that need them the most. But yet, it was sort of the field of dreams, moment where God told us, "Hey, plant the field, and they will come." And that's exactly what we did. We planted the field in faith, and sure enough, come harvest time, there were more than 500 volunteers throughout the community that helped us to harvest every single potato out of that field.
And you're going to be harvesting again in November, and you kind of make an event out of that day. What kinds of things are you going to be doing?
Yes. So right after we had our sweet potato harvest last year, I opened up my big mouth and I said, "Hey, we're going to do it again next year, and we're going to do it even bigger. We're going to plant more than 10 acres of sweet potatoes, and we're going to have make it more of a festival, a fun event because, if everyone in the community we're going to be getting out here and working hard together, we should be able to have fun and fellowship together as well. So after all of the sweet potatoes are harvested, we're going to have a harvest festival. So there's going to be food, live entertainment, hay rides. I'm going to try and plant a crop of corn, so we can have a corn maze, for the kids. Just a really fun event.
And you do something that I think is pretty amazing in terms of donating some of your harvest to the food
Hmm.
bank or I guess I'm not sure which food bank it is, but
Yes, ma'am.
the fact that you do that, I think that's amazing. What was that led you to want to do that?
It's you know, God shared with me that the talents and the abilities that He's blessed me with, they just aren't for myself and for my family, but in order to help the entire community. Um, in this country, that there was a time when communities came together. Yeah, it started with villages, and if we can move a little bit more back towards that direction, we can all empower one another. We can all grow together. And one of the things that's plaguing us more so than anything right now is food insecurity. It's food deserts rampant, even right here all throughout North Carolina. Um, that's one thing that a lot of people are unaware of. Whenever we think of poverty and hunger, we instantly think of third world countries, but yet it's very much so prevalent all throughout North Carolina and throughout the rest of America. And some of the food banks that we're able to help right now, the Interfaith Food Shuttle, the Food Bank of Central and Eastern North Carolina, um, with what we're doing here on the farm is we're a donation first farm, meaning that everything that we grow, we're looking to help supply some of the needs of the local community and the people that need them the most before we think about fulfilling other markets and thinking about profits. We're donation first.
And what's the reaction been from the food banks with you doing this?
There's been an overwhelming response. Many of the food banks, they say, well, no one's ever done this before. Like, and why are you doing this? And yeah, it's so creative. Why aren't more farmers doing this? And I know that my situation has been a little bit unique. Leaving a professional career and then being able to invest in a place like this and being able to to afford the ability to give back in some of the philanthropic efforts that we have here. But yet, that's what's been placed on our hearts. And we have to be obedient. We have to be good stewards with everything that has been given to us and also paying it forward. Yes.
Did you ever picture, when you look back on it, did you ever picture that this would be where you are today?
Oh, I had no idea. Um, I always envisioned myself living out in the country somewhere, with a white picket fence, with a beautiful white house, and that's what we have here. It's God has blessed me with a beautiful home out in the country. But as far as actually working and tending to the land, I never imagined myself being the new McDonald, the the new McDonald farmer. And it's been a growing process, but yet it's been a very rewarding process as well. Um, Farming is one of the most rewarding practices that anyone can do. You're able to actually go out there and see the fruits of your labor. From your own two hands, you're able to see the fruits of your labor sprout up out of the ground, literally every single day.
Your children are still fairly young,
Hmm.
but someday they're gonna, be older and they're gonna realize that what Dad did, he walked away from his
Yes.
big football career and millions of dollars and decided to do this. What do you hope they learn from that example that you set?
Um, I hope that they will always stay faithful and stay grounded. Um, I hope that they can see the value in a beautiful and unique place, like this. Um, I was reading an article whereas in 100 years ago, more than 90% of the families in North Carolina were involved in agriculture, some way or another. 100 years later, less than 10% of the families in North Carolina are involved in agriculture. And, farming has been good to so many families. It's helped to put food on the table for so many families, throughout our state. But yet, for some reason, when a lot of youth became of age, they left the farm. They ran away from the farm. Don't get me wrong, it's hard work. It's very much so hard work. And yes, I hope to establish that work ethic in our children as well, but still have that balance. Whereas in, hey, they'll see the value of the farm and say that, you know what, we're going to stay here on the farm and we're going to work the farm and we're going to live here on the farm. It's been good to so many families before us, and it's going to be good to so many families afterwards as well.
And tell me some of the crops that you're growing here this season.
Yes. Right now we're growing sweet corn, watermelons, squash, cucumbers, and of course our main crop this fall is going to be our sweet potatoes.
And tell me, and this just kind of because the show is North Carolina now, what does
Hmm.
North Carolina mean to you? Obviously, it's had a big impact on you.
Wow. Well, with North Carolina, I've always um, I've always thought that North Carolina offered the best of everything. Um, Even whereas in, I never have to leave the state. If I ever want to go on a vacation, I can have the best of both worlds. I can travel down to Asheville, visit the Biltmore Estate. I can travel over to the coast and visit the Outer Banks, um, and and living right here in the Piedmont, region. Um, it's the soil is rich, the people are rich, and we just need to remember that we live in a very rich state, and it has nothing to do with money. It has to do with, yeah, the people and the resources that we have here, and it takes the people, farmers' hands that you see right here to actually put those practices into action.
You're very passionate about what you're doing.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you think it is that drives that passion?
What drives my passion more than anything is my faith and my family. Um, Now, every day that God allows me to wake up and see this beautiful earth is an opportunity, and I have to make the decision as far as what am I going to do with that opportunity. Um, and then I'm blessed to be able to see my beautiful family, my beautiful wife, and my beautiful children, and that gives me so much drive. Um, my fuel tank, yeah, sometimes it runs a little low, but it's never empty. I always have some in the tank to move forward.
Very good. Great. Very good.
Yeah, I'm ready to roll anytime you are.
My wife's cell
Yep.
phone number.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So I'll be over there in the cucumber patch.
Okay.
And yes, ma'am. Okay.
But your directions were spot on.
Hey!
No, turn around. Turn around, no.
You won't take them out of my property, so I'm going to bring those on. Yeah, I'll get the reports in. I got the last of data from Lucille Pass and last night around.
Yeah, with Mount Level.
Thank you.
Pardon? From Mount Level. You're welcome. Yeah. It reminds me of a young Robert Duvall.
I don't think he's paid quite as well.
Yeah, I met his son Tony too. Who met Tony? He was a very funny young man.
Bruce?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We scheduled when we were going to be able to get out here.
Well, you can certainly see it's a family affair.
Let me know if I'm in your way.
You're fine.
Okay.
I don't mind pushing out of the way.
Okay.
I played basketball in high school.
Gotcha. He's having fun.
Here!
Oh, there it is.
Oh. Yeah,
Sure.
you know me.
I'm gonna use your bucket. No, it's okay.
No.
Yeah, Naomi. Here, you help Daddy out. Be nice. Here, baby girl.
Now you got two buckets.
What am I gonna do with it? You want this one back? No.
Well, I would like to.
Decent, patches around on the, the back side. I can show you where they are after this because we would have to, navigate, trying to get around through there. It's not as easy.
So this is obviously really productive.
Yeah.
I was just wondering about the very small fruit.
Yep, and we are expecting a few more rains, but like I said, it's trying to stay away from the patch that's closest to the road. It's very stressed. Yeah, and some of those fruits are starting to turn bitter. Some of the cutes. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, Naomi, I'm going.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it. I got your bucket. Okay, just keep moving on.
Keep moving.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw you driving my dad's truck. You got it? Yeah. First time driving a truck. Whoa, whoa. Well, right here.
I love these things right here.
Good job, guys. Yes, ma'am. Oh, tilt right over here. Yep. And we're going to start moving these back. And, yes. And, go ahead and fill in the front side of the trailer. Thank you, ma'am. And actually, Roosevelt, will you pull the truck up about 100 feet?
No, I want to do it.
Oh, you can't do everything.
Well, after we finish picking the cucumbers,
Yeah, we'll see.
I feel most of them up, they just playing around. You see that, right? No.
How many is this? 1, 2, 3. What's this one? 4. What's this one? Wait, we stopped at 4.
You go, that's fine. Don't fall over.
Dad, you're picking cucumbers.
You're not supposed to pretend that you're picking cucumbers. You're
Pick
actually supposed to
cucumbers.
pick cucumbers.
Pick cucumbers, Naomi. Naomi. Pick cucumbers.
I don't think that sounds good. I think he told you what
Good number of empty totes for now. We'll fill those up. You got some more, baby girl? Thank you, guys. Slip the name.
He has to rest a little. Excuse me, buddy.
Okay, here, go dump them in. Go dump them in.
That's my sister.
Here, dump them in. Good job, man. Good job.
Next year you'll be dumping them in great.
Thank you, Noah. Good job.
Y'all look dry.
Got a couple buckets down here.
There you go. 4. Uh-oh. Can you take those to the trailer? Yeah. Too heavy. Call for your brother.
Help Naomi, please.
Sorry to say, I didn't really come.
Here.
Yeah.
But I'm working. Let's see.
That's not good. We got a phone
And then you didn't say.
I wish I could. From last year, on the news.
Oh yeah? For sweet potatoes?
Yeah. You saw it?
I heard about it. I didn't know about it at the time, but Meg told me about it. Uh-oh. I work for Meg. Do you know her?
Yeah. Oh, it was intense. Okay. This is not part of the
I know.
the planned exercise.
That's okay. So what happened?
Oh, the crate fell apart.
Cucumber
Gotcha.
I think I should just leave this up to Jason. Move these guys around. Trying to be helpful. There we go.
Watch me stay.
All right. I know. Great. Thank you very much.
Ready to take another load?
Absolutely. Put it back here then. Very good.
You got a lot of cucumbers.
Yeah. And that, now this came from, even though it's in our land, we saw another local farmer that had a large contract with Mount Island. And he put as many cucumbers as helps to save so much food because you would be surprised what the local farmers do is they're going to plow this field underground and there is still tens of thousands of pounds of fresh produce still left out here. It's just that
Okay, got more than that. Would it be easier for you if we filled them where you want them? Well, you don't have to lug them back there. No sense doing double work, right? Yeah, so we might just go ahead and line them all up.
That's what I would do. Yeah, just leave us a lane to go down. Okay? And then that way you don't have to be ruining your back.